Hey y'all, how are you? I'm out here in my gypsy van. It's 40 degrees today here in Texas, way better than the 19 and 17 degrees that we've been challenged with the last few days. So I thought I would jump on here and say, let's go buy some land. Let's build a compound with the family or friends or like minded people for survival and resilience. What do y'all have to say about that? Will it work? What do you think? Something you want to do? Let me tell you about how things go or my thoughts on that. I did have somebody in the comments have a beautiful story to talk about and to tell, and I told the person that I would come on and make a video and tell my story about it or a story about it. Her comment was that she would love to buy land, which is fantastic. She would love to buy land. I can't talk today. She would love to buy land and get so many like-minded people together and have the cobblestone streets and all the little buildings and everybody come together and sell their wares and they could all survive like that. Sounds like a fairy tale. A beautiful one that I would love to be a part of. I've thought about that many times myself. And over the years, as I thought about it, started out, my dad used to tell a story about how in his culture, he always said, he say in my country. But anyway, in his culture, all of the family would live in the same area, a lot of them in the same house, and everybody had a skill set of some kind. From the youngest to the oldest, everybody's had something to offer. So the younger ones would go out and work. The in the middle they would cook and do the laundry and all of that kind of stuff, and some of the older ones would help watch kids, and everybody had something they could do. So in a perfect world, that's how it worked, or how it did back in the day, and still some families can do that. How we've done things in my small amount of family here is, when I say small, I mean the five of us. um, we did for years try to get the rest of the family or friends or like-minded people to come together and do that. Um, but it always wound up to be when you said, okay, so I would talk about, I'm gonna purchase this amount of land, and we could all put tiny houses on it, or we could build one house, or buy property with one big house on it, and then put some smaller, on, and set it up really cool where everybody had a place to stay. Nobody ever had to worry about where they were going to live or how they were going to eat or any of those things. And so, as I was talking to people about it, I was talking about the gardens and how we could can everything and how the animals we could have. And that since everybody in our family come from the country life, everybody knows how to dress out animals. They know how to raise animals. They know how to go fish. They know how to do the gardens and all of that things. I'm talking about the older part of the generations, and me, I'm the older part of the generations, and my husband. And so we talked about that to extended family and friends. And as we talked about it, everybody said, hmm, well, that would be great. And I'd love to live on the property. But what you're talking about sounds like too much work. And I don't want to do that part. I just want to live on the property. So that is a problem when something to think about anyway, when you talk about doing that or think about doing that, that the people that you would have to have come to live on that property would really have to be somebody that matches your work ethic, or matches your line of thinking. And there's always going to be problems, I would say, of some sort, but to make it livable and survivable for everyone, where one person isn't doing all of the work and putting all the money in, how would you do that? So tell me in the comments what your thoughts are and how you would do that. And sorry if the camera is moving around some. I got a new thing to put this on and it's bobbling around. It's not supposed to. But anyway, we're going to go on with it and see how it works out. So, how we do it at my house is my son and I purchased property together. It is one house, and then it has a big storage area that has a little room onto it, and so that could be utilized. But also in the back of the property, at one time there was another house back there that is no longer wasn't there when we bought the property, but the hookups and everything are still there. So you could put a tiny house there. The water and the power is there for another tiny house. We have a regular size house on the property, but there could be a tiny house put there or an RV or travel trailer or something like that. So there would be enough room for who's there now and whoever would need to come in the future who is like minded and who would do the work, help with the work. Everybody has a job to do, nobody lives free. So that could work there. That was our thinking when we bought the property. Also, we have put in fruit trees, so there would always be some things on the property that you could eat from if you needed to. So everybody has purchased some of the trees. If you didn't purchase any of the trees, then you help maintain the trees. Everybody has a part in the orchard, so everybody can partake of the fruit. That's how it works. So that and the gardens, and everybody does that. Somebody had a question about, yeah, in my very one of my first videos where we're talking about how would you survive. They said you talked about your son. Does he work, or why doesn't he work, or whatever. I do have two sons who live at home. They are in their 30s. There is a reason they live at home. One of them has autism. He'll always have to live at home. However, he does help. So I'll tell you about that in a second. The youngest son, he works. He could live out on his own. He chose and we chose to do the family unit together where everybody does well. And so he works. He also does the maintenance on the house. He does the maintenance on the cars. He helps with the other son when he needs to be taken somewhere. And if I'm not home because I'm working, and he also helps to get my husband to appointments when I can't take him there as well. So, anyway, everybody that lives there has a job. They do. The son with autism, he's in charge of the trash. He takes the trash out to the road. He also vacuums the floors. So, he has a job, something that he does. Everybody contributes. Nobody sits and nobody stays free. So the daughter-in-law also lives there. She does laundry. She helps cooking. If somebody needed a ride, she now could drive people where they needed to go if that was something that needed. So everybody works together for resilience and survival on that property. Would I like it to add to and um, maybe get a bigger property at some time and have extra people? I don't know. It's very peaceful with the group that we have there on the property now. It's working where everything stays afloat. And sometimes I think the more people, the more problems. What's your thought about it? Tell me in the comments. I'd like to know. Do you live on a property where there's more people than just a normal amount of people, like just a husband and a wife and then the small little kids? Or do you live where extended family is all on one property? How does that work? Have you ever thought about doing the thing like the lady in the comments said about gathering your tribe and doing all of these cool things? Do you think that would work? I would love for it to work. I would love for it to work and be a part of that. So I want to know what your comments, what your thoughts are on that. Um, tell me, tell me. uh, so that's where I'm going to end this one. I'm going to take you probably next week or so and show you the orchard and show you the greenhouse and show you the few things that we have going there. And if you'd like, I'd like to hear about what you have. Are you raising a garden this year yourself, or do you have the greenhouse going? Have you started your seeds yet? Um, I don't know. Anyway, just popping in here this morning because I'd been reading all of y'all's comments, 6,000 comments. All of the comments. I love to read them, whether they're helpful and positive and beautiful or they're a little snarky, some of them. But that's okay because everybody is welcome here, no matter race, color, creed, uh, thoughts, whatever. I don't care. I'm happy you're here. If you don't agree with me, that's cool. We can agree to disagree. And you might learn something from me, and I might learn something from you. So I'm going to jump off of here. I have more videos to make for you. I'm going to get back in the back of there and start taking out some of the stuff I have. Oh, I got something I want to show you. It's going to go in my van. I got this cool little trash can off of Amazon. I added the sticker. It was just plain. Uh, it was a present. It came in the mail today. And you just, well, it pops open just little. And it could ride up here on the front part of the van. So you always have a little trash can. And I can add the little stickers too. This is a sticker somebody had sent me, I don't know, probably last year. And I never had anything I could stick it onto. So now I have my little wanderer sticker. And so that's a new addition for the van. Oh, I got to show you one other thing. You might want to know what I'm reading. You might not care. But wild plants, edible plants of Texas. Yep, that's what I'm reading this week because it's going to be springtime. I'm manifesting it. Springtime shall be here soon, and we could get out foraging things if any of you like that. I'm also, several of the comments, a lot of the people, and like I said, my channel is not religious or political at all. I do enjoy when people tell me their beliefs and things. And so there were several people who mentioned the Bible, and also people who mentioned herbs or mentioned other things in their culture and whatever. So this is my book. I did that for my thumbnail. This book, Holy Herbs, Modern Connection to Ancient Plants. I started reading it not too long ago, and there were several mentions of plants of the Bible and plants that were used by Native Americans and in the Middle East and China and every culture. And I might share some of it with you because I think it's a pretty good book. So, anyway, look for those. Also, I'm going to be going to the thrift store. One of the viewers asked, would I show some of the things that I get from the thrift store that would be helpful if you're on the road? I am going to show you that. I do have one tip if you're in a van right now in the cold. If you would go get you some blankets and put them on your back doors, anywhere where there's glass, just hang them up over there. That will act as an insulator if you don't have insulation in your van. I have I don't know if you can see it. Let me see. I have um, blackout curtains in here. See? The blackout curtains in here. And I use them, I pull them and cover the cab with it. I have them on the side door where the glass is. There's over here are the blinds that were already in here, but if it's super cold in here, I will put blankets over that. I have stayed in this van sleeping at 30 degrees. It's 32, 30, somewhere in that. I have stayed in it at that and stayed plenty warm. I'll do a video on that and show you how I do that as well. So anyway, I'm going to get off here. I already told you that and I told you a story, but I am going to get off here. I'll see y'all down the road. Much love, everybody.